What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. My name is Fareed, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the long-awaited launch of the WingRiders DEX. WingRiders is an AMM style decentralized exchange, or a DEX, that just launched on the Cardano blockchain. In this video I'm going to review the DEX. I'll take a look at all of the supported wallets, how to make a swap, how to stake your ADA, and how to provide liquidity. In order to access the WingRiders DEX, we're going to navigate to WingRiders.com. From the front page of their website, you can read more about the project by reading the white paper. You can also view the light paper, which is the shorthand version of their white paper, and the Vacuum Labs team, which is the same team that's developed the WingRiders DEX, has also developed an NFT marketplace that you can access here directly from the front page of their website. In order to actually access the DEX, we're going to click on the Enter to App button. I've already actually clicked on that, and that's actually open here in the separate tab, so I'll jump over into that. And from here, we can actually see the entire DEX. The first thing I want to review on the DEX are the supported wallets. If I click on the Connect Wallet button, that's going to give me a list of all the supported wallets. I'm also going to leave a link to my Nami wallet tutorial. That's going to walk you through the process of creating a wallet and connecting that to a DEX if you haven't already done that. But in addition to the Nami wallet support, we can see that the Flint, Eternal, Euro wallets are all also supported. And then in addition to that, for those of you using hardware wallets, you will be able to connect your Ledger and your Trezor wallets. It does look like the support right now for the Trezor wallet will be coming in Q2. However, if you're using the Ledger wallet, you can connect that right now in order to actually use it to sign for transactions. I do believe that this is the first DEX to actually support a hardware wallet, and so it'll be cool to see if other DEXs across Cardano follow suit and do a similar thing. Now let's actually connect my wallet, so I'm going to click on Nami here, and then I'm just going to confirm that I want to give the WingRiders DEX access to my wallet, and there we can see that my wallet has now been connected. Next, I want to talk about the swap feature. When it comes to making a swap on the WingRiders DEX, we're going to notice a similar layout to that of Sunday Swap as well as Min Swap. At the top here, we can provide the token that we want to trade, and then at the bottom, we can see the token that we'll be receiving. If I click on this cog icon here, that's going to give me my transaction settings. From here, I can change my slippage tolerance. Simply put, this is the total amount of change in price that I'm willing to tolerate for my swap. And then below that, I can set my timeline or the deadline associated with the swap. Once the deadline has been met, the swap will be considered invalid, and at that point, I can actually get a refund of my tokens. Next, let's actually take a look at how we can make a swap. In order to do that, I'm going to click on the Select Asset dropdown here at the top. Now I can actually select the token that I want to trade. So I'm going to be swapping my ADA for MELD tokens. Once I select the ADA, I can then select the token I want to receive. One thing that I do notice here is that all of the top tokens right now within the Cardano ecosystem are currently present on the DEX. In addition to that, you will notice here, I believe that there are some stable coins that are currently supported. So here at the very bottom, we have MAD USDC as well as MAD USDT. These are both going to be the wrapped versions of the USDT and the USDC tokens, and these are actually coming from the Milkamada sidechain that's actually connected right now to the WingRiders DEX. So now let me actually type in MELD here so I can select that token, and then I can actually provide how much tokens I want to buy. So for now, I'm going to enter 100, and there we go. Our swap is ready. So now I'm going to click on the swap button here. And once I do that, I can see exactly who is going to be making the transaction. So that's my wallet address here. I can also see exactly how much ADA I'm going to be putting up. I can see the USD equivalent value. And then I can also see my MELD tokens right below. Then below that, I can see the swap details. So I can see the total amount that I'm going to be getting charged in fees, the slippage amount that I just set earlier, and the deadline associated with my swap. In addition to that, I can see that there is a 0.18 ADA transaction fee, as well as a 0.03 swap fee, and then an agent fee associated with my trade. So now that we've got that out the way and we've reviewed all of the trade details, I'm going to go ahead and actually confirm my swap. And here I'm going to be forced to sign my transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to confirm it. And there we go. We can now see that our transaction has now been submitted to the blockchain for processing. So we're going to give that a minute to process and then we'll pick back up. Now that my swap has been submitted, the DEX is warning me that I currently have one unconfirmed transaction. And if I look up here at the top right hand corner, I can also see that there is one pending transaction. If I click on that, that's going to show me right now that my transaction is still pending. I can also see any of my expired transactions as well as my completed transactions from here. Once the swap has been confirmed, you'll see it under the completed section. If you click on the drop down arrow next to your swap, you'll see some additional details. And so now that our swap is actually done, let's actually confirm that our tokens are in our wallet. And we can actually see them here, so that's good. Next, I want to talk about the liquidity pool options on the WingRiders DEX. So in order to access that particular section, I'm going to click on the pool link. From the pools page of the DEX, you can see all of the existing liquidity pools. You can see the specific trading pairs for the pool, as well as the total amount of liquidity in US dollars. You can also see the 24-hour trading volume, as well as the total amount of fees collected within the last 24 hours for that specific pool. If you're looking to add liquidity into a pool, you can use the Add Liquidity button to do that. And so now let's actually walk through the process of adding liquidity into the MELD ADA liquidity pool. In order to do that, I'm going to search for the MELD token. And here I can see the ADA MELD liquidity pool. I'm going to click on the Add Liquidity button. And then from here, by default, the Add Liquidity option is checked. If I already have liquidity added and I want to remove liquidity, I can select the Remove Liquidity button. But because right now I don't have any liquidity added, that particular feature is disabled right now. Next, I'm going to provide how much ADA I want to provide in terms of liquidity. And once I type in the amount of ADA, the total amount of MELD that's going to be getting contributed into the liquidity pool will also be updated. And so right below that, I can see exactly how many liquidity provider tokens I'm going to be getting in return and the total amount of fees associated with this transaction. If I click on the Add Liquidity button, I'm going to see a same confirmation screen that we saw earlier when we were making our swap. And so from here, I can confirm my transaction details and then click on the Confirm button to actually proceed with providing liquidity. Next, I'm going to sign my transaction. And then I'm going to confirm it. And again, our request to add liquidity to the WingRiders DEX has now been submitted to the blockchain. It looks like my liquidity transaction has now been processed. Again, if I click on this drop down here, I can see the details associated with my transaction. And so now let's actually double check that our liquidity provider tokens are actually in our wallet. If I open this up here, I should see my tokens, which I can verify here. So again, I contributed my liquidity into the ADA MELD liquidity pool, and therefore I was given ADA MELD liquidity provider tokens. Next, let's take a look at how we can actually use these tokens within the farming on the DEX. From the farming section of the DEX, I can deposit my LP tokens into farms in order to earn additional rewards. These rewards are paid out with the WingRiders token as well as NFTs. And in order to do that, I'm going to scroll down. And from here, I can select the farm that I want to provide my liquidity into. Next, I'll click on the Manage button. And then from here, I can select exactly how many of my LP tokens I want to deposit into the farm. For now, I'm going to deposit all of my tokens. And then I'm going to click on the Deposit LP Tokens button. And then I'm going to confirm. I'm going to sign the transaction. And submit that. And once again, we're going to wait for the transaction to be processed on the blockchain. Once the transaction for our farming has been confirmed, it will also show up under the completed section of our transactions. If I now navigate back into farming, I can now see the total amount of liquidity that I've now provided within this particular farm. I can also see the total amount of rewards that are going to be getting paid out within the next epoch. And right now that's standing at 20,000 of the WingRiders token. And so depending on how much liquidity I've provided in this farm, that's going to dictate how much of the rewards pool I actually earn. Next, we're going to talk about staking on the WingRiders platform. As we can see from the staking page, by providing liquidity into a pool that contains ADA, we will be eligible to earn additional rewards from ADA staking on the Cardano blockchain. These rewards accumulate over time and are redistributed back into the liquidity pools. One other thing to note here is that if you do provide liquidity, is that you will have the ability to actually vote on where that ADA gets delegated to. And all of this actually occurs automatically. So as long as you have delegated or provided liquidity into a pool that contains ADA, that ADA will be automatically staked and you'll be able to earn rewards off of that ADA. These rewards that you'll be earning off of your ADA will be in addition to any rewards that you're earning within the farming section of the DEX. So as we can see here, I can see the total amount of liquidity provider tokens that I currently hold, as well as the pool that the ADA is currently delegated to. If I want to vote for a different pool, I can click on the Manage Vote button. Once this page here is finished loading, I should be able to see all of the available delegation pools. This feature is not yet currently functional. However, once it is functional, it should be as simple as just coming onto the page and then clicking the Vote button for whatever delegation pool I want to select. Next, let's take a look at the portfolio section of the DEX. And in order to do that, we're just going to scroll up to the top and select the portfolio link. From the portfolio, we can view all of our open positions on the WingRiders platform. Right now, I just have a single position for my liquidity. As we can see here, I have the total amount of liquidity provided in USD. And I can also see the total amount of liquidity provider tokens that I currently hold. And while it's not yet functional, it does look like there will be an impermanent loss calculator. If I want to manage my liquidity position, I can click on the Manage button. Clicking on that here gives me the ability to either add additional liquidity or the ability to remove liquidity. The last thing I want to talk about is the NFT marketplace that the WingRiders team is currently collaborating with. So in order to access that NFT marketplace, we're going to click on the link here at the top of the page. And that's actually going to open in a new tab, but that's going to redirect us to jamonbread.com. This is a new marketplace that is actually being worked on right now by the Vacuum Labs team. And this is actually the same exact team that has developed the WingRiders DEX. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail here about the NFT marketplace itself, but I did want to show that this is actually being integrated right now into the WingRiders DEX. That's going to wrap it up for today's video on the WingRiders DEX launch. I hope that you found some of this information to be helpful. If you did, please make sure to tap that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave those down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.